Good morning, South Florida, and welcome to this edition of the Frost Jazz Hour right here on WDNA's 88.9 FM, the home of Serious Jazz. I'm your host, Marcello Corelli. Welcome to another week. Last week, we had the pleasure of hearing the Stamps Trio, which I was honored to be a part of with actually one of the musicians playing in this group today, Tim Watson. I'm very excited to welcome this group today, another fine jazz trio made up of some of my closest friends here at Frost. And before we get to the music, just want to say to our viewers, we're excited to be live on UM's Frost Jazz Hour, and WDNA is celebrating 41 years of broadcasting, and we are proud that the UM Frost School of Music has been along for much of that ride. For many years of from many years of the UM Bandstand to UM Frost Jazz Hour, WDNA works to maintain a space of the airwaves for local artists, and a performance space for up and coming performances and composers. So we're very grateful for WDNA to make that happen. WDNA depends on listener support, though, to do this work. Please make a contribution this morning to support UM's Frost Jazz Hour on WDNA, and you can do that by calling this number, 305-662-8889. That's 305-662-8889, or go to WDNA.org to make this donation. And our goal for this morning is $800. So I know we have a lot of viewers out there, so let's make this happen. So again, without much of an introduction needed, let's give a warm welcome to the Jesse Katz Trio. They're going to start off with a tune entitled Dawn and written by Jesse. You're listening to the Jesse Katz Trio here on WDNA's Frost Jazz Hour. We're going to continue with some more music, but just want to remind our viewers once again that we are celebrating 41 years of broadcasting. We want to keep that going. So please, we depend on your support to do this. Again, our goal is $800. Sure, we're working our way towards that goal, but let's keep going. But let's continue with some more music. I believe the next composition is entitled Get Up, also written by Jesse Katz. Yeah, guys, sounds great. Y'all are bopping. So you've been listening to, again, another edition of the WDNA's Frost Jazz Hour on WDNA's 88.9 FM, the home of serious jazz, played by some serious young jazz musicians. You have heard from Jesse Katz on the bass, who is the leader of this group, and we've been hearing all of his compositions so far. Tim Watson on the guitar, and Josh Platt on the drums. So, Jesse, I don't know if you have your mic. Yeah. Welcome to the show, man. Thanks for bringing your music here as usual. I know you've been on this show a few times, and it's nice to see you again, man.
Good morning, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, man, your compositions sound really, really great, and you just have quite a variety of styles and influences in your compositions, and I just enjoy listening to it. So I was curious about kind of how you've, been through your compositional journey and what you've learned and how you've grown and who some of your influences were. So if you want to talk a little bit about that, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to compartmentalize and I don't know, put into words, but let's see. Early on, I really fell in love with a lot of Kenny Wheeler's music a few years ago, and I guess some of the first stuff I tried to write was like that, and I really through that I guess I really explored just some of the harmonic concepts he uses and just types of root motion things, which is nice being a bass player. I get to deal with a lot of that, so I don't think my stuff is turned out quite like that stuff, but I think that's some of the earliest stuff I can point to think of what I really fell in love with and influenced me. And then just working in Professor Martin Bejarano's class last year is when I wrote a lot of these tunes that we're playing today, or I guess the first seeds of those tunes. And just some of his concepts are great, just thinking about harmony and how to logically and musically develop a tune.
Yeah, man. That's great to hear. And I mean, I'm sure it's really developed over time. I know that class has helped me a lot by taking it. And it sort of forces you to limit yourself in a way, but then once you end up writing those ideas, you can then expand upon them after you finish the class. I'm sure that's what you did to finish a lot of this music.
Totally, yeah.
Cool, man. Well, we look forward to, I know you said one of your influences is Kenny Wheeler, and one of the tunes we're going to hear either next or later on in the set is kind of a Kenny Wheeler style tune. So we're looking forward to hearing that. And so what are some of your plans after graduating? I know this is your last semester as well as the other two members of the band here, but what are your plans?
Yeah, it's gone quick. In a couple months now, I guess when we graduate, I'm going to be sticking around Miami for a little while, at least a year, and I won't be in school at least this coming year, but I just plan on working and writing and shedding, practicing, all the things, but especially writing. I feel like just in the last year and a half or so, I've gotten going with all that and started to find the things I like to write. So I just want to try to put my energy towards that and then just playing the music with people.
Yeah, man. And you're definitely a top caller around here. So people should call Jesse Katz because he's a reliable cat. And so he'll be sticking around Miami. Look out for him. Also, I know you and I are going to be a part of this outdoor concert at the Arch Center tomorrow. Tell us, maybe plug it a little bit for tomorrow night.
That's right. Yeah, super excited to play. Gosh, I know one of the first gigs, big band gigs for a live audience in a while, frankly. It's downtown at the Arch Center, outside in the plaza area they have between the two halls. I think there's a few tickets still available, and if you go online and see that they're sold out, don't be discouraged. I've been told because they're putting out a few more tickets on a rolling basis. So especially as tomorrow night draws closer, be checking. It's just $15, I think, and a whole hour and a half, I think, of big band music. We're playing the concert's called The History of the Big Band, so we're playing an awesome collection of a lot of years worth of music, back from In the Mood to some modern stuff that's actually written by one of the graduate students here at Frost. So it'll be a great time for sure. That's tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. at the Arts Center.
Thanks, man. Thanks for describing the event to us. I know a lot of our viewers are going to want to come out tomorrow because the repertoire we're going to be covering is quite wide. Like Jesse said, from works of the Benny Goodman Orchestra to works of Miles Davis that were rearranged by some of our student composers. And we're going to have a wonderful vocalist, Katie Oberholzer, with singing with us on some of the program. She is a talented vocalist who graduated from the University of Southern Maine. So look out for that performance tomorrow night. And also, thank you, Jesse, for talking with us. Again, this is a week of donating to the Frost, or not only the Frost Jazz Hour, but WDNA. And I believe you can win some pretty awesome things by donating any amount at all. So making a contribution of any amount between now and 12 p.m., you can now enter. Once you do that, you can enter to win a pair of tickets to the Frost Museum of Science, Miami's only planetarium, aquarium, and science museum is located in the heart of downtown Miami. Discover the power of science, sparkling wonder, and investigation. Make your donation by 12 p.m. and be entered into this drawing. Join your fellow listeners as we celebrate the union between science and music. Visit WDNA.org or call 305-662-8889. Again, our goal is $800, and we're making our way towards that. Let's work towards that and keep going, because this music is too good to disappear. We got to keep this going. So for their last tune of the set, before we go halfway to the halfway point, I believe the trio is going to be playing a tune entitled Tides, and this is kind of a Kenny Wheeler influenced tune, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, yes, Charlie Hayden, Gonzalo Rubalcaba, all those people. All right. What a beautiful tune, Jesse. That was tied. So we're going to take a brief pause and come back in just a few seconds. I know the turnaround is quick. You've been listening to WDNA's 88.9 FM. We'll be right back. Welcome back to this edition of the Frost Jazz Hour right here on WDNA's 88.9 FM, the home of Serious Jazz. I have an update here from the wonderful Jenny working at the WDNA. So again, this is a week of donating here to the Frost Jazz Hour and WDNA. Okay, so a correction to announce, actually. Everyone who donates during the Frost Jazz Hour will receive a pair of passes to the Frost Museum of Science. A pair of passes. You've got just a few minutes left, about a half hour, so please give now before 12 p.m. Make your donation now and you'll receive a pair of passes, once again, a pair of passes to the Frost Science Museum. If you call 305-662-8889 or go to WDNA.org, the new goal is $630. All right, it's a little lower, so we got this. Let's do it. Thank you. Again, we've had some donators so far. Thank you to Carmen and our friend from Key West for donating so far. So $630 is the new goal. Please donate again, 305-662-8889 or WDNA.org to donate. We're going to continue now with some more music from the Jesse Katz Trio. They've played a bunch of Jesse's original compositions, and they're going to start with, I believe, another one of his original compositions. I was lucky enough to hear it on his senior recital, which he just had a few weeks ago. And this one's entitled Shades of Suffering and Hope. So let's enjoy some more of the Jesse Katz Trio with Josh Platt on drums, Tim Watson on guitar, Jesse on bass. listening to the Jesse Katz Trio on WDNA's Frost Jazz Hour. What a great composition. Another great Jesse Katz composition entitled Shades of Suffering and Hope. I heard a little bit of a loop there by Tim. That was really nice. That's Josh Platt on the drums, and we're gonna talk with Josh a little. Just before we do that, just again, this is donation day here on the WDNA radio station, and another form of a thank you would be this great gift. It's a Alone Together shirt that has just been designed by some of the designers at WDNA. Actually, I have it here if you could see it on the on my phone, but you can go to WDNA Miami's Instagram page, and it's really a great design. Reminds me of this great tune, Alone Together. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. But it's a really nice shirt, and if you invest $120 to support WDNA, and you can receive the brand new Alone Together t-shirt as thanks. You can see the new design again, like I said, on our website at WDNA.org, the Instagram page, Facebook, and Twitter. It's two-sided, featuring an abstract silhouette design, and it comes in two colors, pale blue and a creamy yellow. Donate $120 or $10 a month if you don't want to do it right away all at once for your t-shirt now. Call 305-662-8889. That's 305-662-8889. You should have that number memorized by now. I've said it so many times. Or go to WDNA.org to make your donation. So enough of that. Josh Platt, welcome to the show, man. It's nice to see you again.
Good to see you, man. Hey. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. You know?
Yeah?
Just trying to get through life, you know?
Yeah, me
it's
too,
stressful,
man.
right? Yeah.
Last semester, college.
Yeah, it is. But you've been on this show a few times before. You've also been on quite a few recordings in your time here at Frost. Some of the students at the school have put out some EPs, and some of the alumni have some records that are coming out. Well, you know, obviously you're a very versatile musician. You play on a variety of different recordings, and I just wanted you to kind of talk about what your journey has been like being a sideman on some recordings and just playing in a variety of different situations as a musician.
Yeah, being here at Frost, you know, it's like only been less than really 4 years of my life, but I've done a lot since then. You know, everybody here has like a different outlook on music, and everybody writes differently, and you know, there's like a billion ensembles at the school. So being put in these situations, definitely as a drummer, you know, a musician in the rhythm section, you're kind of required to have an understanding of different styles and be versatile, so that if you want to work, you kind of got to know like how to play any type of specific rhythms or any grooves, or like the history about it. Or when someone says, I kind of want, you know, this feel, and they like reference a recording, you should probably know what they're talking about. That would help you in those situations. So yeah, being part of those recordings at Frost with like my colleagues here, it's been really cool. You know, I like to think that I know a good amount about a variety of genres, but you know, there's always something like that you don't know. There's always something around the corner that's like, dang, I've never heard of that before, and you know, you got to get in the shed and really work on it. So it's been a journey for sure, like no doubt about that. But playing music with my friends like this is, you know, it pushes me to like be musical in situations, and it actually allows me to take all these concepts that I've learned, you know, that this is jazz music, we could say, right? This is like a jazz fusion thing, but you can apply concepts that you learn when you, like, you know, you learn Cuban rhythms, like, you know, or anything like that, or even in like rock music or hip hop or funk, you can find different ways to apply those variables that you would find in that type of music to this music. And I think that's what really develops your own sound. It's how you perceive all of that other music and how you apply it into your everyday playing.
Yeah, that's great. Great answer, man. And like, obviously, you know, at this school, you can learn a variety of different styles by just studying with different teachers. And we've talked about that in the past. You've studied with, you know, the likes of Daphnis Prieto and Steve Rucker. And now you're studying with great drummer here at local South Florida drummer, David Shiverton, who's amazing.
Amazing drummer.
Talked
amazing
about him
musician.
for like an hour, you know.
Yeah, I'm a real fanboy. I used to know him. Like I listened to him way back in high school before I never even dreamt that I would be able to study with him and really become like, good friends with him and everything. So I'm extremely grateful that I have that opportunity to work with him and just to have him hear me play and like get his feedback, how he thinks about what you know what I mean? Like I think that more than anything is really important because everybody's going to get the technicalities of music like under their hands. That's really a personal thing. But when you play with other musicians in a situation like this, I think that's where the game changes. And that's when all the technical stuff is kind of just assumed and it's pushed to the side because you really have to be, using your ears and using your brain and understanding what everybody else is playing, not just what you're playing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, don't think when you're out here
Nah.
because as soon as you think, nothing comes out.
That's bad. Then you start thinking it's bad.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. So I actually also hear that you are planning on maybe coming out with something because I know you're quite the composer too as a drummer. That people don't think of drummers as composers a lot, but you and I have done a fair amount of composing in our time here.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to hear a little preview of that on the show. But are you thinking of putting out a record at some point soon?
Yes, sir. I'm actually I had my senior recital I don't know if it was last week. I think it was last week. It's been a long time. It feels like it's been such a long time. But yeah, I had my senior recital last week and I had a goal of mine, not like a requirement, but I really just wanted to perform a good amount of original music because they really push that here at the school. And in my head, I was like, man, I just want to be able to, for my own self, I want to be able to say that I did that and was satisfied with it, So I was very pleased to have like the feedback that I did after my recital. People, they were coming up to me, they were commenting on my compositions, and I've never had that happen before. It's a big step, I think, in a composer's journey to actually play and have that music be presented in front of an audience for people to hear. Like that's being vulnerable. I think as a musician, we go through that. But this has become so natural. Composing is a different entity to me. So that was like a big step for me, and I was very happy with how it came out. And I was talking to my good friend Kyle Schroeder on a long drive, and basically after a long conversation, we just came down to it, and he was like, yeah, man, you should put out a record. You should continue writing and use the musicians down in Miami, which are all amazing. Use them to your advantage and get some recordings out there and put it out, like under your name. And so, yeah, that's in the works very early. I still got to finish writing some stuff and get the logistics down, but it's going to happen. I'm saying it in the public. It's going to happen.
That's exciting, man. I'm looking forward to hearing that record. So look out for it. Thanks, Josh, for being with us.
Yeah.
I want to definitely give you guys some time to play one of Josh's compositions. Let's remind our viewers, though, next week we have a couple great shows coming up in the next couple of weeks. Next week will be Josh Bermudez, an alumni, great guitarist under the studio of John Hart. He's actually a TA here now. And Tim Watson will be with us again. We've seen a lot of Tim, and we'll talk with him, next week. And then the week after will be Chuck Bergeron and John Hart, and then Connor Rohr's trio, which I'll be playing with. But for now, let's hear some more music. Here's Searching by Josh Platt on WDNA's Frost Jazz Hour. Josh Platt, Searching. I think the broadcast is over, but the live stream's still going. But you've been hearing from the Jesse Katz Trio. That was Josh's composition entitled Searching. You heard from Tim Watson, Jesse Katz, Josh Platt. Look out for more of his compositions and Jesse's as well. It feels good, right, to listen to WDNA. It feels even better to be a part of WDNA if you've never contributed to WDNA. So now is a great time to give what you can. I know it's probably past 12, but just keep giving. There's no limitations. The time, is our only limitation, but we need to give more. And you can join the family when you give. Your support keeps WDNA's independent and focused on planning. There's no point. There is a point. We got to keep donating. Call 305-662-8889 or go to WDNA.org. Have a great week. I don't know. I'm talking to nobody. I'm talking to you guys. Donate.